Breaking news! Things are heating up behind the scenes for the Los Angeles Rams this Monday, and you can be sure something good is in the works. Today, I want to talk about a new signing and some important updates regarding players on the roster. Man, just thinking about the fact that in a month we'll be watching the Week 1 game gives me butterflies of excitement. I've really missed watching the Rams play. If you've been a Rams fan for over 14 years and have missed the games too, smash that like button. If you can, drop a comment saying, "Go Rams. We're going to the Super Bowl this year." I believe they're capable of getting there. Something tells me the Rams will hoist that trophy this year. Now, let's get to today's topic. The Los Angeles Rams have made another roster move, and it comes at a time when squad depth is more important than ever. The team signed cornerback Zech McPhearson, a former fourth-round draft pick of the Philadelphia Eagles, after waiving cornerback Dre Norwood, who was dealing with an injury. This isn't a signing that immediately changes the starting lineup, and it's important to make that clear right off the bat. At this stage of the year, the Rams aren't just looking for starters. They also need enough reliable players to get through the preseason, evaluate the roster, and protect the guys who are already slated for key roles once the regular season kicks off. This is especially important because the Rams tend to rest their starters during preseason games. Someone has to take the snaps, and every player who joins the team gets a chance to show what they can do. According to Kairen Williams of KPRC2, the Rams signed McPhearson after waiving Norwood due to an injury. McPhearson is 28 years old and comes to Los Angeles with previous NFL experience. He entered the league when Philadelphia selected him in the fourth round of the 2021 NFL Draft. During his rookie season, he appeared in 16 games and made one start. He then played in all 17 games in 2022. The biggest question surrounding him is simple. It has been a long time since he played in an NFL game. McPhearson has not appeared in a game since the 2022 season. After his time with Philadelphia ended, he joined the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2024 and spent that year on their practice squad. Jacksonville released him in August 2025, and he then spent the 2025 season without a team. Now he gets another opportunity, this time with the Rams. Expectations should be realistic. McPhearson is considered unlikely to immediately claim a place on the final 53-man roster, but that does not make the signing meaningless. He will have preseason opportunities to compete, put plays on film, and show the Rams what he can offer. With the starters being protected, those preseason snaps can become extremely valuable for players fighting to extend their NFL careers. For McPhearson, this is a chance to get back onto the field after a long absence. For Los Angeles, it is a chance to add an experienced cornerback to the group after losing Norwood to injury without having to make a major investment. Sometimes, roster building at this stage is exactly that. You lose a player, you need another body at the position, and you bring in someone with NFL experience who now has a chance to earn something more. We will see what McPhearson does with that opportunity. Now we need to talk about other important topics, because there is another Rams story that becomes even more interesting when we look at what is happening around the NFL. And this one involves number 23, Kairen Williams. The running back market is moving, and some of the numbers being handed out around the league make the Rams' deal with Williams look better and better. Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs received major extensions, resetting the running back market in a very short period of time. These are two outstanding players, and the point here is not to argue that they did not deserve to be paid. The point is what those contracts tell us about the value Los Angeles is getting from Williams. Robinson's extension was described as a 3-year deal worth up to $75 million. The deal included roughly $9 million in incentives, with the base value at around $66 million over 3 years. That puts the annual value at approximately $22 million, while the deal also came with more than $50 million guaranteed and a huge signing bonus. Then Gibbs received his own deal, pushing the numbers even higher, with the information presented putting his average annual value at around $22.5 million. Those are massive numbers for running backs. And when you put them next to Kairen Williams' contract, it becomes very difficult not to appreciate what the Rams have. Let's make one thing clear. Nobody needs to claim Williams is a better player than Robinson or Gibbs to make this argument. Both of those backs bring special qualities to an offense, especially with everything they can do as runners and receivers. But are they providing twice the value of Williams on the field? That is where this conversation gets interesting, because financially, the difference is enormous. Williams's deal is for 3 years and $33 million with an average annual value of $11 million and $23 million guaranteed. That means the Rams have a running back they trust at a price that looks extremely favorable when compared with the new top of the market. And Williams is not some average player being paid like an average player. The production tells a very different story. Since becoming a starter, Williams has consistently produced at a high level. The numbers presented for him show a player who belongs in the conversation with the NFL's better running backs. In 2024, he handled 316 carries, finished with nearly 300 rushing yards, and scored 14 touchdowns. That is a serious workload and serious production. Then we saw something important happen as his workload changed. His carries came down, but his efficiency went up. That is where Blake Corum enters the conversation. The Rams have been able to create a situation where Corum and Williams can help each other rather than forcing Williams to carry everything himself. Having another running back capable of handling work means the offense does not have to put every responsibility on number 23. That matters for Williams, and it matters for the Rams. But even before Corum became a bigger part of what the offense was doing, Williams showed that he could carry a major workload. There has always been one criticism that follows him around: the fumbles. Yes, that has been a legitimate concern at different moments. Nobody has to pretend otherwise. But it also needs to be discussed fairly. The numbers in front of us show 2 fumbles on 259 carries last season. That is not the massive problem some people might imagine when they hear Williams's name connected to ball security concerns. The issue has improved, and that improvement deserves to be part of the conversation too. When we move away from one weakness and look at the complete player, his value becomes much easier to see. Williams is averaging close to 5 yards per carry, and he has consistently been able to produce more than 1,000 rushing yards when operating as a starter. Then look at where his production ranks since 2023. Williams ranks 6th in rushing yards, 4th in rushing yards per game, 4th in rushing touchdowns, and 10th in yards per carry over that period. Those are not numbers from a player sitting somewhere in the middle of the pack. Those are numbers from one of the league's most productive running backs, and there is another part of his game that sometimes gets ignored. Williams is not simply a player who takes the football, runs between the tackles, and disappears whenever the Rams want to throw. He has contributed as a receiver too. No, he does not offer the same receiving dimension as Robinson or Gibbs. That would be going too far. But despite the idea that receiving is a weakness in his game, Williams still ranks 19th in receiving yards among running backs over the last 3 years, according to the numbers presented. So think about the full picture. You have a running back who can handle a large number of carries. He can consistently produce on the ground. He scores touchdowns. His efficiency has improved when the Rams have reduced some of his workload. He can contribute through the air. And Los Angeles is paying him $11 million per year on his current deal, while the very top of the running back market has moved beyond $22 million per year. That is why this contract suddenly looks so impressive, and it could look even better with time. Williams currently sits outside the top 10 among the highest-paid running backs, despite having production that supports the argument that he belongs among the top 10 players at his position. As more running backs around the league get new contracts, his $11 million annual value could continue moving further down the salary rankings. For the Rams, that is exactly where you want to be. You want high-level production without paying the highest price at the position. There is also flexibility built into the agreement. The information presented says Los Angeles can keep Williams through 2028 if it wants to, while also having a potential way out after 2027. At that point, the Rams could move on with only $3 million in dead cap while creating $12 million in savings. So Los Angeles did not simply keep an important offensive player. The Rams did it on terms that give the organization options in the future. And to understand why that matters, you have to remember how important Williams has been to this offense. There have been stretches where the difference with and without him has been impossible to ignore. Before Corum developed into a player capable of carrying more of the workload, the offense was heavily dependent on Williams. When number 23 was unavailable, the entire operation looked different. That dependency was something the Rams needed to address, and adding another reliable option in the backfield helped. But reducing the dependency on Williams does not reduce his value. If anything, it can help Los Angeles get even more from him. Instead of asking him to carry the ball over and over simply because there is no other choice, the Rams can manage those opportunities and try to keep Williams effective. We have already seen the basic idea: fewer carries, better efficiency. And there is still another reason his value cannot be measured only by rushing yards, touchdowns, or receiving numbers. Pass protection. When Matthew Stafford drops back, Williams can help keep his quarterback protected. He is not a particularly big running back, but he has shown the willingness to step into the difficult part of the job. He will get involved in the trenches. He will take on defenders. He will do the work that does not appear next to his name in the rushing statistics. That matters. A running back can make a major play without touching the football. If Williams recognizes pressure, gets into the right position, and gives Stafford enough time to make a throw, that block can be every bit as important to the success of the play as a carry. That is why simply comparing rushing totals does not tell the whole story. Williams brings several things to this offense, and his importance has been obvious when he has not been available. There is also the human side of this. Now, I want to hear from you, Rams fans. What do you think about the signing of Sean McVay? Do you think he can use the preseason to earn a longer opportunity in Los Angeles? And when it comes to Kairen Williams, do you believe the Rams have one of the best value running back contracts in the NFL? Does number 23 still deserve more respect for everything he brings to this offense? Or do you think the concerns around his game are justified? Let me know what you think, because with the running back market changing this quickly, the deal Los Angeles already has could keep looking better and better.